Hi, I'm Kamel Fisher, and you're watching the Sequire Spotlight. We are live at the LD Micro Invitational here at the Four Seasons Hotel in Westlake Village, California. With me, I have Dr. Mick Ruxin with Theralink Technologies. The ticker is THER. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Wonderful having you. Please, before we get into any of the questions, tell us more about what Theralink does.
Okay. Theralink Technologies is the only company with reverse phase protein array technology that can tell which FDA approved or investigational drug is effective in each cancer. And we do that by understanding what the activated protein is inside a cell. So genomics is the blueprint of the cell, but proteomics, which is what we're involved in, actually tells what's going on inside the cell. So if you can tell what the protein is doing, then you'll be able to tell what drug can go ahead and help that patient.
Wonderful. Sounds very interesting. Now, it sounds like there's a lot of intricate technologies involved. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, there is. We have 7 patents, and the technology basically follows the way that physicians currently handle specimens, tumor specimens. So they go ahead and they take a tumor specimen from a woman, okay, because we're doing advanced breast cancer now.
Got it.
And then that's sent into us, and then we go ahead and do a sophisticated microscopic test called laser capture microdissection. That is, we take that tumor sample and we scribe out the tumor, because, as you know, when you take a biopsy, you also can get skin in there, you can get the skeletal structure, which is stroma. So we're able to go ahead and scribe out just the tumor cells. And once we scribe out those tumor cells, we then go ahead and lyse them so that all the proteins spill out. And then we array them on an arrayer, and then we challenge them with antibodies, and we get a fluorescent signal. And that signal tells whether or not the protein is activated in the cell. If the protein is activated, then the drug will work. If the protein isn't activated, the drug won't work.
Excellent. Thank you for breaking it down in layman's terms. For someone like me, not actively in your industry, but sounds like a very, very interesting initiative. What success rate have you had, and how effective is this?
Well, that's an excellent question.
Thank you.
Because we just put out a press release that out of 118 patients, we had greater than a 90% actionability. In other words, the physicians found something that they hadn't seen before, and they would go ahead and decide whether or not they want to go ahead and take action on it, namely change the actual patient's prescriptions, patient's drugs, or whatever they're doing. But what's even more impressive is that greater than 75%, the actual clinical utility, namely the physician decided because of what they found on our Theralink assay, they actually changed their standard of care. So that is an incredible statistic, and that just happened, okay? Just recently happened, right?
Wonderful news. So, I mean, that's
It is
definitely
great news.
something to really push out there for people to understand. That's breakthrough
Yes,
technology.
It's breakthrough technology,
Right.
It'll mean a lot to women in terms of decreasing morbidity and mortality in advanced breast cancer.
Yay, we get to live a little longer.
Right? You get to live a little longer.
That's excellent. So, Dr. Mick is your title. Please tell us more about you and why you find yourself in this space. What are you most passionate about?
Well, I'm most passionate about this particular assay, the Theralink assay, because we've actually seen it work in patients, where it's decreased the morbidity and mortality of patients. And as a physician, if I'm able to see that, it's tremendous gratification. And the same thing for everyone in the company. They know they're doing something that's for the greater good.
Nothing trumps that, right? Wonderful. So, any bits of information, just from a personal perspective, I love asking this question because I get a little more insight into who I'm speaking with, and so do our viewers out there. What life lessons have you just discovered in your walk of life, and especially in this industry you find yourself?
Well, I think one of the main ones is a bit of a scary one, and that is that everyone is right from their side. However they are on the fringe or they're in the middle, it's their opinion and who they are. They believe they're right from their side. And so in running a company, you've got to be able to do something which is we call standing under. And that is to understand someone, you've got to stand under and truly realize that what they're saying is very important to them and very important to their belief system. And you need to listen very carefully and act on it accordingly. That's the first thing. The second thing is to never, ever believe the first person that comes to you. Always go ahead and listen to the other side, because so often you just listen to the first person, oh, that happened, that's how it must be,
Right.
but then you need to hear the other side. So those are a couple life's lessons that I have learned.
Excellent, thank you. Definitely worthy nuggets of wisdom there. I can definitely attest to the doing due diligence, very important, and allowing people their perspective, correct?
Right.
Well, I want to hear more about the company's strengths and some
Okay.
forward-looking thoughts about strategy and what we can expect in the near term.
So what's very important in companies like ours, there's an old saying, is not to be a one-trick pony. In other words, you only have one thing and you base the company on that one thing.
Right.
So our first assay, our Theralink assay, in which I told you about the clinical utility, okay, and the actionability, we're actually going to do multiple solid tumors. So this advanced breast cancer is the first one we're going to do. But we're also going to do gynecologic tumors. So we're going to do endometrial tumors, and we're going to do liver cancer, and we're going to do lung cancer, and we hope to do pancreatic cancer.
Great.
So we'll do multiple assays, multiple tumors in one assay. So when the oncologist orders a test, eventually, it's not yet, they'll be able to order one test for what's called a pan-tumor assay. And that's our goal, and that's our strategy, and then tactically, we're going to go ahead and work on that.
Wonderful. Expanding the reach and the solutions makes total sense. Can you give us a summary on the company's bottom line performance? Just anything you can highlight for us?
Well, you got to look at us more as a startup, okay?
Right.
But I will tell you something very special, a seminal event, a milestone that happened within the past month. And that is that we were able to get a what's called a code. There's CMS codes in the United States, for different tests. And there's another code called a PLA code, and we actually got a reimbursement amount from CMS, so we can start billing Medicare in January of this year. That'll be a completely different change for the company, because suddenly we should have revenues that hopefully will ramp up as we bring more doctors to understand our technology, which will then help more patients. So that is what I will call a seminal event in the history of our company.
Wonderful, thank you. Are you excited about the future, and what in particular excites you?
I'm really excited about the future. I mean, I have two hats on. One hat is the management of the company hat, and working with all our teams, because it's the teams that make the company.
Yes.
But the second is my physician hat,
Right.
the Hippocratic Oath, and that is that I will be able to be involved in a company and a great team of people that actually will be able to decrease the morbidity and mortality of cancer patients directly through our effort. And to me, that is a gift that our team will be able to give basically to mankind.
Incredible, incredible. I love it, and I'm excited about your future too. In closing, would you just like to take a minute to give our viewers 3 key takeaways from this to remember for your stock, remind them of the stock, and tell them where they can get more information?
Okay, I'd say the 3 key takeaways are: number one, our technology has no competition. We have 7 patents. We hope that patents group is going to increase. So we have no competition. The second thing is that we're the only company that can determine the activated state of the protein, meaning if the protein is active, the drug will work. If the protein is not active, the drug won't work.
Right.
And the third is this becomes an issue of going ahead and increasing the sales and marketing. We've had one sales and marketing individual who has been able to move us forward tremendously. And can you imagine if we have 5 or 10 or 20, or some of these companies, genomics
Right.
companies, have over 100. So for us, it becomes a sales and marketing play that as we bring on more doctors, we'll bring on more tests, we'll save more lives,
Right.
and we'll decrease the morbidity.
Wonderful. Where can we get more information? You have a website link or?
Yes, absolutely. Theralink.com.
That's
Make it
so
real
easy.
simple. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much. I enjoyed this conversation, Doctor.
Thank you very
All
much.
the very
I appreciate
best.
you taking the time to interview me, and I'm very excited to let everybody know what an incredible company we have and what a difference we're going to make.
Excellent. All the very best.
Thank you.
Keep changing the world.
Thank you.
This is the Sequire Spotlight. Stay tuned.